All right, this is my intro video, and I'm just gonna tell you, this video is gonna include killing a hog. I'm gonna take this female out. I'm gonna whole hog roast her. Nothing's gonna go to waste on her. And there will be blood and gore on this video. So if you do not like that stuff, then just get off this video. You have no need to be here. My last video was cleaning a squirrel, and I had a negative Nancy on there talking about how it was nasty, it wasn't right, it was cruel, all this and that. So if you don't live this lifestyle and don't do that, then I don't care. Get out of here. I don't need your negative comments. I won't even look at them. I'll see them, won't give a fuck. So just get out of here while you can. This is how people have lived for many years, like generations, since they've came over here. So, but yeah, I'm gonna get to it. I couldn't separate the pigs. I was gonna try to separate them all, but it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna go ahead and try to take out that one without fucking with the others, but let's get to it. All right, this is the pig we're gonna take. I'm gonna shoot her in the head. She's kind of away from the others now, or she was, but I'm gonna do one quick shot in the head, and she's gonna be done. Right. There she is. As you can see, the only one that's worried about is the goat. He didn't like the shot. If you can see, the other pigs don't really care. He's literally, get back, get back. I don't want him to do that because I kind of find that wrong. I don't want him to be eating on her, but you can see they don't care at all. They don't know what's going on. They've never seen this happen before. All they know is that she's laying there and then she's bleeding. But so what I did is I shot her and then slit her across her throat to release her blood out while her heart was still pumping, so it could pump out that blood. Because if you shoot them in the head, they're dead. They drop, as you've seen in the video, and then they're done. It's very humane the way I did it. Most humane way you can do it. So we're gonna get her out of this pen so the other pigs will stop messing with her. Get her gutted and then hung up and ready to cool off. Yeah, it's just really strong skin. There we go. Bring it across there. Look at all that fat. It's just, there it goes. And right here's just a bunch of fat on the outside. This is what would have been the bacon. But then as soon as you cut in like that, you see there's a lining. You just want to run your knife along that lining while holding up here. That way you don't cut into your guts. That's not good. You keep slicing, and look at all that white lard just right across the top, like that. See, and you just keep cutting all the way up to the breastplate. Keep going. We're gonna have some cartilage here from the rib. And you just keep cutting up all the way up that breastplate. And like that. Then you'll reach the top. Just like that. Now she's open, you can still see there's blood still pouring out of her. Here's her heart. I'm gonna take this out. A lot of people eat pig heart. I don't know what I'll do with it. I may eat it. I may give it to a buddy that I know will eat it if I don't feel like eating it. But there's your heart. And you still got your intestines right here, as you can see. But you wanna keep cutting it across this line. Try not to poke any of these guts, because if you do, you'll have shit everywhere. And that's not good. Just keep cutting right along that line. Just like that. And as you can see, this is why I said, if you don't want to watch this video because of what it has on it, then don't. Because you can see intestines right now. But just keep doing that. Because you want to kind of get it to where she's open on both sides. Like that. And then kind of like a deer, come to the butt, and then you'll cut that stuff out. Cut around the butt. Like this. And that. Cut all around this, because what this does is it releases the intestines just like you would on a deer. So it's very important that you do this. As you can see, poop's falling out as I'm doing this, which isn't good for skinning, to be honest. It's not the best thing to have, because then you got poop on your knife when you're trying to do other things. They're really not good. But I'm working with what we do have right now. You want to grab this lining. It's going to make noises and everything else. This is what they do at supermarkets before it goes in there. They have to do this same process, but it's a little bit more factory. But you just have to pull out these intestines and get them out of there. There's a lining, as you can see. If you grab it, it should come out pretty easily once you start getting it going. Just like that. Just like that. Here's that anal duct that I talked about. Oh, and I just ripped it. That's not good. Fuck. Just come out of it. There we go. That part's not going up on YouTube. I'm digging up. But this part, all right, so bringing you back, I'm ripping out the lungs now. The upper part. There's a ventricle here. Pull it up. Still that lining up here too. And then, so now I have my hog. I mean, I could, if I wanted to, I could butcher her up. in a regular hog. I'd have your ribs, then there's spare ribs that come off of these ribs. And yeah, I'm gonna cut her head off the rest of the way. And then get her hung up. Look at all that fat across the shoulder. That's just a bunch of, that's just pretty. That's what you want to see. It's a pretty hog. Just the right amount of fat on her. Need to get to that neck bone. All right. Just like that. Okay. So that's the head. I'm gonna cut off these ears because I don't know if you've ever seen in the store, they sell dog ear or pig ears as treats for your dogs. So I'm actually gonna stick these in my wood stovepipe when it's going and get them smoked for a long time so that my dog can safely eat them and chew on them and stuff. So that part won't go to waste. I can't eat any of the organs really. Can't really do nothing with her head. There's nothing too important about too much good on that. That's what's going to go to waste right there, and that's it. Everything else is going to stay intact. I may take off the feet later, the hooves, but those will also go to my dog. The heart I'm saving if I'll eat it. I don't know. I may give it to a buddy. But let's get her strung up so that we can get her skinned, but I'll bring you back when we're on that segment. Rinse it off. Get her all cleaned up. Get all this mud off of her. She's not dirty. All that poop out of her that drained out. But this hose is still new, so it's still kind of coily. But you just want to try to get it as clean as you can. You don't want it to be dirty. Who likes dirty meat? Nobody. That's what she said. But you just want to go along in here and clean out anything that you see that could be bad. Clean out this outside. Even though you're gonna skin her off, you just don't want it on the less dirt that's on the meat or on the pig itself. Less chance that there'll be dirt getting on the meat. Just clean her up. Nice. And so I've had this pig for a few months now. I think about 2 maybe. And she was just a little baby when I got her. She wasn't even near this big. But now the other pigs will have a chance to get big like her or bigger. But I'm gonna let them go to full because I have one of them sold already, and then I'm hoping to sell the other one so I can actually make a profit off of this. But it's not always about the profit. All right, now she's all cleaned up. I'm gonna Drain her out like that. I'll bring it back. I'm gonna get the hose shut off and then her hung up. All right, so now it's the hanging up process. What you want to do is find the tendon along here, just like a deer. There's a tendon right here, and that's what they're gonna be hanging by. So you just make an incision right here. Try not to cut through that tendon, but you gotta get through that tough ass skin from these pigs and then slice down a little bit. Now I got a hole there for that hook to go through. And then do the same thing to the other side, find that tendon. Careful not to cut yourself and or that tendon. Push the rest of the way through, cut up. And now I have 2 holes. So I'm gonna take it right here. I'm gonna lift this up. And I'm gonna hang her up. Try to get her up here. She's kind of heavy. So. Here we go. Lift up on her again. Now she's hanging. I'm gonna let her hang, cool off a second, and then I'll come back when I'm skinning her. But I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut off that tail. So I got that tail off, but as you can see, when I cut her tail off, she has a good fat content coming through. Like, that's what you want. That's good. That's just, it's not like a suckling, which would be smaller than her, way smaller. They're like, I think like only 2 months old, but she's close to 5, maybe. Now she has good fat on her, and I'm gonna do a whole hog on her. So she's gonna be in the ground, cooking. And what's really good is all that fat is gonna like melt almost. It's just gonna melt and just baste that meat, keep it nice and moist all the way through it, and it won't allow this to dry out. And but I'm gonna have to invite some friends over and stuff to help me eat this because I underestimated how big it was gonna be. I didn't think she was this big. If I'd known she was, I mean, I obviously knew she was this big, but you know, looks a lot different when she's strung up. But yeah, I'm gonna have a whole hog on her and invite friends over, have a beer in your hand and a pig in the hole. So, but I'll bring you back once she's cooled off a little bit and drained a little bit, and when I'm skinning her. All right, so now we're gonna fucking skin it. So you want to be careful not to cut that tendon. I'm gonna cut along this part first. Try to get through that skin. It's like tough. That's why it's good to have a sharp knife, but this knife is now dull. But yeah, you just want to cut around these legs because you want to get that skin off of this animal. Just a super tough skin. But I'm probably not even gonna waste this skin. I don't know if I said it before, but I'm gonna try to tan this hide like I do a deer hide. I've done it with a deer, but see, I have it all the way split around. So then I'm gonna do that to the other leg. Get it through, and just like that leg, cut through that skin, tough. this side. Just keep cutting it until you get all the way around back to your other cut. That, and then you're going to want to meet them together, or you can start cutting like this down, whatever you want to do to get it started. Just like that, right down that leg. Ooh. Then try to cut that, but I'm probably gonna have to sharpen my knife and or get a different one out, because this one just isn't cutting it right now, literally. But this is just really sharp or hard skin to cut through. It's tough, but I'll bring you back when I got her down a little bit more, and that's basically it. You just cut around this leg till you get all that skin up. Try not to cut the meat as best you can. Yeah, I'll bring you back when I got a different knife. Alright, I'm back. Now you can see there's a little bit of a, probably not yet, but a little change of attire on me. I had to go. My brother had a kid, so I went and seen it since all this COVID stuff is going on, so I had to get cleaned up for that. But I started a little bit more, and I got a different knife, sharper knife. My old lady actually got me this knife, so. But like I said, you just want to keep cutting along that line, cutting along the meat, you know, and this knife's way sharper. But try not to cut into the meat, and then cut all the way around that leg. And you're gonna want to bring it across to this leg here. So you're gonna want to cut right across that skin, all the way across and up to that other cut that you made on this other leg. And then start on this leg like that, all the way around it. And I'm trying to leave as much fat as I can, because that's going to help it cook and base itself. So yeah, just cut along this leg, cut you all the way across to the other leg again. Next slice. Cut this off. I don't know how well you can see me right now. I have the phone propped up, but pretty easy. It's just like a deer. If you've ever skinned a deer or like that, it's basically the same concept. You just cut around till you can get a good grip on it and pull on it. But yeah, this is what a sharp knife does. The other one, I was having a problem with it because I did all the other cuttings with it. But yeah, it's simple. Just keep on cutting it all the way down. You can see how she's opening up more. Working your way around that ham, because this is her hind leg, which would be the ham. Just comes off like nothing if you do it right. But yeah, I'll keep cutting on this a little bit and bring you back, because I can't really show you much. But you just keep, that's the process. You just kind of like skinning or taking off a coat, you know, you're taking off its coat. So I'll bring you back. Well, as you can see now, got her up to her feet, down, See, I'm leaving a bunch of fat on, or trying to at least, as much as I can. I'm gonna clean her up a little bit, make her look nicer. Cut off a lot of the fat off of the skin, because that can be used. That's useful as hell. That can be used in cooking and just everything. Great, like, that's great. That's lard. Great uses for it. Nothing in this pig's gonna go to waste. All right, back again. This time I have a cameraman, but this is rough cutting on the back because I got too deep. But I'm just cutting off the rest of his fur down to his bottom hooves, and then I'm gonna snap off his bottom hooves and then his top hooves. But you just want to get all this skin off. I want none of that on there. Just gotta cut through it all. Make sure you get it right. You're not trying to cut meat. I have cut into the meat a little bit on the shoulder on this side, but I think it'll be all right. I didn't get it too bad. But just skin it down its leg. Cut it to that other hoof. There's like a little ankle, and that's where it will snap off at. But that's the difference a sharp knife can make. All right, there's his knuckle. So that's where we'll stop. So that's the knuckle. So we'll stop at that side. Come over here and do the same thing. We'll grab him up, start cutting underneath, get his skin off, get that nasty clump right here. Be sure not to cut yourself, especially working with sharp knives. But see that there? I cut into the shoulder a little bit right there, but not bad. Doesn't really matter how pretty she looks, since she's gonna be cut up anyway, or not cut up, but whole hog. So, but yeah, I'll bring it back once I'm start cleaning up the fat and stuff on her. All right, so now we got the hog done up. I didn't take off the hind or the paws yet. As you can see, there's lumps of fat everywhere from where I was unevenly cutting it and stuff. But we're gonna try to clean her up, make her look a little bit pretty, and we're gonna try to get not all of this fat, but a lot of it. We're gonna save it in a bowl, clean it, and then we're gonna cook it down to make lard to cook with, and anything else you can think of. And any of the scraps that have meat on them and stuff, just throw down and give them to my dog or something. But I don't want any of this to go to waste. It's just too good to do that for. So just anywhere you see that white, greasy stuff, just comes right off and then comes out. Sometimes you can get big chunks, sometimes little chunks. Most of the fat's on the skin, so I didn't lose it. I can go to the skin and it'll actually be better. Some of it has meat. That's where I got into the shoulder, where you can see the red spots at, but I tried not to as best as I could. But I don't want to get rid of all this fat either. I want some of it on it so it can base itself. But all this fat holds in a bunch of flavor. Right here on this neck, big spot of fat. Yeah, just going through and cleaning up fat, so I'll bring you when I got my bowl filled up. So, catch you then. Slippery. I'll clean up this meat or this fat more when I get inside too. Just I'm trying to get as much as I can. I don't like getting things to waste. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's a long one, so I'm going to make this outro short, so just like and subscribe and come back for the next video. Thank you.